Thanks for joining us. Today, a balloon release was held in remembrance of a 2-year-old boy that was found dead in the UP just over a week ago, as we learn more details of the tragedy from the boy's mother. As we've reported, authorities responded to a call just before 5 a.m. on March 19th at Lake Road and Sunset Road in Ironwood Township, which is just north of Highway 2. That's where authorities found the body of a 2-year-old boy identified as Darwin Olson. His mother, Jessica, tells us that he was struck by a car and killed. She says she does not know who the driver is and that, to her knowledge, the driver and car have still not been found. But today, dozens of community members gathered together, bringing balloons to release in Darwin's honor. He would have turned 3 yesterday. Gogebic County Sheriff says an investigation is ongoing and no arrests have been made, but have not provided any other details on the boy's death.